We'll begin with questions. We'll go to Eric Bailey with the Tulsa World, and then Ryan Aber.
Hey, Austin. Where did you have to work the most in improving your game this offseason? And how difficult was that given COVID-19?
I would say I had to work most of my footwork, whether it was, blocking or running routes. And, we got sent back home. It kind of, I got to be able to work out with my receiver coach back home, and that helped a lot, working with a lot of NFL guys. And they taught me a lot, and it really helped my footwork out, being home and working with my receiver coach.
Thanks, Austin.
Okay, let's go to Ryan Aber with the Oklahoman, and then Jason Kersey.
Yeah, Austin, what to you is the most impressive thing you've seen so far in Spencer Rattler and the way he's handled things, and just what stands out to you about him maybe last year versus now?
He's stepped up a lot since last year, in a leadership role and, the way he plays. He's always had, the fast, quick arm, powerful arm, but stepped up big time leadership, knows the offense a lot better. So, yeah.
Appreciate it, Austin.
Okay, Jason Kersey of The Athletic, and then Joe Bettner.
Hey, Austin. Can you describe for us what it was like last season, kind of having your coming out party in the Baylor game and this historic comeback, and having that be your dad's alma mater? I mean, was that bittersweet for him?
No, that was a good time. But yeah, I was stayed ready the whole year and knew my time might eventually be called, and got to be able there. Name was called. Was able to make some plays. It just happened to be at Baylor. But no, my dad was for sure happy.
Thanks, Austin.
Okay, Joe Bettner with the Norman transcript, and then Kayla McCory.
Hey, Austin. I was curious if you could just talk about the way that Spencer, I know you played with him or you played with him before you got to OU, and I'm curious what kind of energy you saw from him as a high school quarterback going into that senior year to where he is now, as far as the energy he brings, the maturity he brings to the field.
Oh, yeah, he's matured a lot. Yeah, like I said, he's always had that strong arm, but his decision-making now is a lot better just because he knows the offense more than, let's say, last year. And, yeah.
I was going to ask you, obviously you probably know him a little bit better, but have you seen, other guys on the team, especially maybe team veterans, maybe gravitate toward him in this short amount of time?
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's stepped up big time in the leadership role. As a quarterback, you're asked to do so, and he has for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Kayla McCory with the OU Daily, and then Kerry Murdoch.
Hey, Austin, how did playing on special teams help you develop, and what was it like, kind of learning from Shane Beamer?
Special teams help a lot. Just kind of getting the speed of the game, getting to see what it's like really out there, getting some plays under my belt, and sitting back, learning from Coach Beamer last year was big for me. Learning, because I was kind of raw coming out of high school, learning how to block, how my steps are, and so it just helped a lot just to take last year and learn and be able to make some plays.
Okay, Kerry Murdoch with Sooner Scoop and Sports Animal, and then John Hoover.
Hey, Austin. Being in the same room, with a guy like Braden Willis, I mean, we talked to him. He said that, you guys are always cheering for each other. Y'all root for each other. But is there almost put pressure on both you guys? If, it's hard to get on the field if, with you guys. I mean, you both, seem to be really big playmakers in the offense.
Me and Braden are, good buddies. I always cheer him on. He always cheers me on. We kind of got that relationship, but don't really think about it that way. If we both go out there and we both make plays, and so that's what we're asked to do, and we'll let the rest work itself out.
Do you guys think you could be a real strength of the offense this year?
Most definitely. I mean, we go out and we make plays, and that's what we do in that position room, and that's what we're asked to do. That's what Coach Beamer asked us to do, and so that's our job.
Thanks, Austin.
Okay, John Hoover with SI Sooners, and then Brandon Drum.
Hey, Austin. We talked earlier a couple of weeks back with Shane Beamer, and he said that you guys' kind of directive, your prime directive moving forward in the season is to improve your yard after catch. He wants to see you guys catch the football and get up the field. You talked earlier about working on your footwork and your quickness and your speed. How's that gone hand in hand? And do you see, instances this year where you're going to be catching the ball in space and have nobody around you and you can get another 30, 40, 50 yards?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, it goes hand in hand, just getting open, having more room to work and when you beat your guy. So, and it starts in practice, just finishing after plays, finishing in practice, and then it'll translate to the game.
Thank you.
Okay, Brandon Drum with OU Insider, and then Keegan Renault.
Hey, Austin. Appreciate you doing this. You talked about working out this summer and this off season. You worked with a ton of professional guys and stuff like that. But can you talk about some of the things that you learned by working out with some of the guys that you worked out with, i.e. like Jay Sternberger and all those guys?
Yeah, so working out with Jace this quarantine was big time. Just he teaching me, what he does when he blocks and how to run routes, how to use leverage on this guy, how to run certain routes, certain ways. And so that was big, learning from him. And Laquan Treadwell, he taught me a lot of how to run your routes, how to finish, and just all those guys. Worked with Dez, and he taught me, how to work out, practice hard. And so I learned a lot from all those guys.
Okay, let's go to Keegan Renault with Sooners Wire, and then Dean Blevins.
Austin, you were recruited to Oklahoma as a tight end. It's kind of the same position you're playing now, but you were moved from kind of a wide receiver, the Y, into H-back. Just what was that transition like? And do you prefer being kind of that H-back inline tight end role opposed to being lined out?
The transition was good. I mean, coach asked me what he wanted for the team, and the team needed me over here, so that's what I did. And I love it. It's for sure a good place to make plays. So,
thank you.
Okay, Dean Blevins from KWTV, and then Joey Helmer.
Yeah, Austin, we've seen that you've put on a lot of weight from last year. Can you tell us how that happened and if you met your goal, and specifically how much you gained? What were you, and now what are you in terms of weight?
Came into OU about 235, and then I'm up to now 260. And Coach Wiley and the strength staff did a great job. They kind of told me just keep putting on weight as long as you can move and still move well. And I feel like I move a lot better now than I did when I weighed 235. So it's just growing into my body. I was kind of late bloomer in high school, so it's just growing into my body now, and it just kind of progressively turned out to where I am now.
Okay, we'll go to Joey Helmer with OU Insider.
I know you've known him for a long time, but since being named a starter last week, have you seen anything different just in terms of how Spencer's kind of carrying himself?
No, not really. I mean, he's just that shows you what a competitor he is. I mean, he kept the same competitive spirit when he was, fighting for the job when he got it. So that just shows you a lot about him. Shows you the competitor he is, and yeah.
Okay, we had another question from Brandon Drum, OU Insider.
Hey, Austin. Back in the 2019 opening, we got to watch you and Spencer and all those guys in your class do that 7-on-7. Y'all won the title. You and Spencer seemed like you had a really good, I guess, some sort of relationship on the field to where it seemed like you guys knew where each other's at all times. How has that translated over to college? And my last question is line up in line as a tight end, how much pride do you take in that blocking and owning your man?
Yeah, with Spence, we played together a few times before here, and so that was all about kind of building that trust. And he kind of just knew where I was. I mean, a guy with that arm, he can fire it on you at any point, so you got to keep your head on a swivel. So that was a big part of it. But yeah, we've got a relationship on and off the field, and yeah, and blocking wise, that's where it all starts, is blocking. So I take huge pride in that, and that's where it starts. That's where the game starts. So you got to master that before you move on.